Good morning, boys and girls. I have a new book for you. Remember, this is the Principal's Corner where we celebrate books from different cultures or about different cultures and the diversity of our student body. That means you, kids at our school. So let's take a look at this book. It's called She Persisted. She Persisted Around the World. So this is a book about 13 women who changed history. I won't read the entire book because I want to leave something for you, but we'll focus on different women in this book and you'll have the opportunity to check it out from our school library. This book is written by Chelsea Clinton, who is the daughter of our former president, Bill Clinton, and she's written a few other books for kids. So you may like the work that she's done. But again, this is a book written by Chelsea Clinton and illustrated by Alexandra Boyer. She persisted around the world. So this is a story of 13 different women, but we'll read about a few here. 13 women who changed history. So I don't know if you can see this. So it says, in memory of my grandmother, Dorothy, whose persistent curiosity and love inspired me every day. And the other was from the illustrator to my daughter, Vanessa, and to children everywhere around this precious globe. So this isn't just about girls here or women here in the United States. It's about women around the world. Okay, it's not always easy being a girl anywhere in the world. It's especially challenging in some places. There are countries where it's hard for girls to go to school and where women need their husband's permission to get a passport or even to leave the house. And all over the world, girls are more likely to be told to be quiet, to sit down, to have smaller dreams. Don't listen to those voices. These 13 women from across the world didn't. They persisted. At the time, Sor Juana Inez de la Cruz was growing up in Mexico. Most girls did not go to school. After reading and studying on her own, Juana Inez asked her family if she could disguise herself as a boy so she could go to university. They said no. She persisted, finding tutors who didn't mind teaching a girl, and then became a nun in part so that she could focus on her studies and her writing. So Juana Inez's poems and plays are still celebrated today, and her Resputa Sor Filota de la Cruz was the first published argument for a woman's right to education in the Americas. And it says, I don't study to know more, but to ignore less. Although Carolyn Herschel's mother didn't think girls should be educated, her father taught her alongside her brothers. But after typhus left Caroline, I believe it's Caroline, permanently stunted at just over 4 feet tall, both parents thought her only future was to be a servant. She persisted, leaving her native Germany to live in England, where her brother William, who supported her efforts to further educate herself, including in math and astronomy. Together, they studied the night sky, and on her own, Carolyn became the first woman to discover a comet. Today, several of the comets she found bear her name. These are the comets, and that's Caroline studying the stars. Amazing. When Kate Shepard began traveling through New Zealand, saying that women deserve voting rights, many men believed that women should avoid meddling in masculine concerns. When Kate first tried to get Parliament to give women the right to vote, they didn't listen, even though she brought the many petitions that thousands of women had signed. Still, she persisted. And in 1893, New Zealand became the first country to grant all women, including Indigenous Maori women, the right to vote. We are tired of having a sphere doled out to us and of being told that anything outside that sphere is unwomanly. We must be ourselves at all risks. And women gained the right to vote in the United States August 18th, 1920. That's been a while ago, but it was after men were given the right to vote. So just like here in the United States, other places in the world experienced the same thing. Growing up in Poland, Marie Curie knew that because she was a girl, she would have to leave her country to go to college. She persisted, moving to France to pursue her dream of being a scientist. Her work in radioactivity, the way that some materials give off energy, led her to becoming the first, led to her becoming the first woman awarded a Nobel Prize in physics. A few years later, she discovered two new elements, one of which she named polonium after her home country. For that work, she won her second Nobel Prize in chemistry. She was the first person in the world, man or woman, to receive two Nobel Prizes. Nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood. When Viola Desmond was on a business trip, her car broke down, so she decided to go to the movies while she waited for it to be fixed. But Viola didn't know that in the town she was visiting, only white Canadians were allowed to sit on the movie theater's main floor. When Viola was asked to leave, she persisted in saying that it was her right to sit wherever she wanted. Viola was arrested and spent the night in jail. Her decision to fight the charges against her helped start the modern civil rights movement in Canada. I didn't realize a thing like this could happen in Nova Scotia or in any other part of Canada. While working in India as a young doctor focused on caring for women, Mary Verghese was in a terrible car crash and lost the use of her legs. Rather than quit medicine, she persisted and shifted her work to the kind of care she could give patients from her wheelchair, just as well as anyone could standing up. She focused on rehabilitation, working with people who had lost the use of their legs or faced other challenges after accidents or illnesses. Mary found that the first functional rehabilitation center, or founded the first functional rehabilitation center in India. It still helps patients today. At first, the thread seemed so tangled and broken, but I am beginning to think that life may have a pattern after all. And this is Mary. And see, she's not limited due to her wheelchair. She's helping students or kids and others regain their ability to walk. So there are other women who are celebrated in this book. Please check it out from the library if you have an opportunity. You'll learn so much about persistence and what you can do if you put your mind to it. Thank you for listening.